Hello everyone, my name is Vedrin Tahiri, and today I will do a short market review for the cryptocurrency market in general. I will talk about several different coins, firstly starting with Bitcoin, then I will move on to Ethereum, then afterwards I will go to Solana, SOL, and then Cardano, ADA, two coins which have just recently reached new all-time highs. And finally, I will do 4 different NFT coins, non-fungible token coins, which have had very interesting movements recently. And in general, the NFT category has been characterized with significant increases over the past at least 2 weeks, and since mostly since July 20. Sorry. Before I start, I would also like to encourage everyone to join the BeInCrypto trading community, which is an absolutely free community in which people ask questions and someone always gives answers on what they are asking for. I also post regular daily analysis there, and I post some of the coins which I believe have a positive outlook for the future. Also, you can join the premium channel, which is also free, but you have to make a deposit in our partner exchange Stormgain. There we also share signals regularly, which, as you can see, have a very strong profitability rate. Okay, so without wasting much time, I will start with Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is at an interesting position and has been so for a while, actually. So it's trading right below the 0.618 fib retracement resistance level at 51,200. Also, there are bearish divergences in place, and there have been bearish divergences since July 30th, both MACD and RSI. Now, there has been a decrease, obviously, since the bearish divergence. So since August 23rd, when we had this shooting star candlestick right here. But just judging how big the divergence is, the decrease so far to me does not look very proportional. So since we had a roughly 1 month decrease in the daily RSI and daily MACD, I would expect a sharper decrease. So when we measure this entire upward movement, so basically from July 20th to August 23rd, we can see that the decrease has not even come close to the 0.382 fib retracement resistance level, which is usually the minimum amount that a move should retrace in either direction before the trend resumes. If we move to lower time frames, we can see that there has been a breakdown from an ascending support line. And then afterwards, we had what seemed like a potential reclaim, but it did not turn out to be that way, and the price has fallen back down since. So this supports the possibility that Bitcoin goes down. Now, the only bullish sign I'm seeing here is this potential channel here, but this is in very short-term time frames, but it has been respected well so far. And descending parallel channels are almost always corrective, so they contain corrective structures. So yeah, in this case, we would expect the price to break out, but again, it's a very short-term occurrence relative to the bearishness which we are seeing in longer time frames. And just to move to the count a bit, so again, the way I'm seeing it, I'm not yet sure if this is an ABC up and then we will continue down, or if it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But in any case, I believe we should tag this 42,500 level before eventually moving upwards. Now, as for the channel, so again, right now, this is my most likely count, something like this. But if potentially, I don't believe this is the case, but I'll just play it out here. If this was an ABC, and then this was some type of impulse, and then this was an ABC again. Now, this channel supports this possibility. So the descending parallel channel I drew out previously, because ABCs are usually contained in channels. But if you break down from here, then no, this dies, the possibility. I don't think this is the case, but it's just, I'll just play it out. But in any case, if we break this high here, this 49,400 high, I believe we will break out from the entire resistance area, because the reason for this, so if we break out this high, I believe we'll go over, so 50K and above. The reason for that is that if this is some type of impulse, so 1, 2, and now we're in wave 3, then this should not be taken out. If this gets taken out, that means that the shorter movement is an ABC structure. Therefore, it's probably something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, much higher, but you get the point. Okay, so now I will move on to Ethereum. To be honest, Ethereum has almost an identical, I believe it will just follow Bitcoin. So whatever Bitcoin does, basically, yeah, we have the same bearish divergences here. It has not, let's just draw them out. We have the same bearish divergences here. And the decrease has not even come close to the 0.382. Also, the rally is completely parabolic when we look at lower time frames. And Ethereum has actually first broken down from, and then validated both these lines as, this line has validated this line twice as resistance. Now, what seems weird to me is the fact that it's not going down yet. So basically I would expect a breakdown, then go down, but it's not doing that. So that casts some doubt in it, but still, in my opinion, it should firstly retrace a little and then potentially go higher. But I do think it will retrace. Now, let me move to SOL. So SOL has reached a new all-time high, and it's in price discovery. Now, these coins are notoriously hard to trade whenever coin is in price discovery, and especially in this case when it's parabolic, because obviously there is no support below the current price. But on the other hand, you never know how much this will extend. Like, potentially it could even extend up to here. But yeah. Now, whenever coins are at an all-time high, I usually draw the most recent portion of the drop and use a fib retracement on it, and the 1.61 usually acts as resistance. As we can see here, it has acted as resistance. And now, if it breaks this, it usually goes to 2.61. But again, in this case, in my opinion, the risk to reward is not there. Risk to reward ratio is not there for longs, because obviously if we see a downward movement, like this could decrease at least to here, which is the closest support, and probably here somewhere. And like that's about 18% above the current price. Well, this would be 47%, 46. So basically you're risking a lot more than you can win. But yeah, the upward movement, I mean, there is some bearish divergence, but the upward movement does not look weak. Like when we look at the long-term time frame, it seems, yeah, broke out here, going higher. ADA or Cardano has a very similar chart, but as you can see, it has not reached the 1.61 yet. Let me just put this back. So it has 1, 0, has not reached the 1.61 yet. There are, again, now in this case, so an interesting thing about divergences. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with hidden divergences, but they're the opposite side. So basically, if the price does a higher high and the indicator does a lower high, I'll make both of these blue. This is a regular divergence. But if the price does a higher low and the indicator does a lower low, which is the case here, this is called the hidden bullish divergence. So basically, the way I see this, we had the bearish divergence, which already played out. This was first, right? It was here. And then we had the hidden bullish divergence, which is now playing out. So yeah, I'd expect this to go at least to the 1.61 and then maybe potentially go down. I don't know. When we look at the longer term time frame, so I believe a lot of altcoins will do this. So basically we had this was the initial upward movement. I don't know if you were here back then. So we had this upward movement from the beginning of March, or the so-called pop-it crash. Then the first decrease. Then we had the second decrease in September. And now we're somewhere in wave 5. So basically lots of alts have not done this yet. So they haven't actually broken their May highs, but I believe the majority of them will. So let's look at Ethereum, for example. See, it hasn't done this yet, but I believe it will eventually break it. But yeah, hasn't done it yet. Now, I will go through some NFT tokens real quick. One which I like right now is OGN, or Origin Protocol. Basically, the price movement looks nice to me because we have an ascending support line. Here on August 27, the price touched the line and the horizontal support area and is now breaking out. And basically, if it breaks out, there is virtually no resistance until about 1.92. So there's potential for good gains here. Indicators are relatively bullish. So I like this one. Another one which I like is COCOS, which, let me just remove this for a second. So yeah, now it has failed to break out of this level, but the final decrease is contained inside the parallel channel. And like I said before, parallel channels usually contain corrective structures. So I would expect the price to break out from here. So this is another one which I like. Now let's move to CHC. Basically, there's a long-term channel. Yeah, as you can notice, I really like channels. I mean, I like trading them. So it's right at resistance, so I don't like it in the short term, but I believe it will eventually break out. And if we look at the long-term time frame, like I said before, so I believe wave 4 probably finished, and now we're going higher. So I'm using the same tactic to find potential resistances if it breaks out. Basically, most recent portion of the decrease. And use the 1.61. And finally, ENJ, Enjin coin. So yeah, again, it broke out from a channel, validated it as support, and now it's moving higher. Now, again, it was rejected here, so maybe decreases in the short term. So I'm not a huge fan of it in the short term, but I believe it will go at least up to here eventually. Okay, everyone, so thanks for joining. This is the weekly review for today, and I will see you next week. Bye, everyone.